Hey y'all. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey Yvonne. How y'all doing today? Well, I have to tell you, I'm feeling a little bittersweet that this is almost our last class. I just want to tell you all that it's been an absolute, complete, and utter joy to be doing this with you all for, I guess, what, 2 years now? Yeah. Yeah, we're close to 2 years. Yeah, it's like 21 months, I think. So you all are just the awesome people. Like, y'all just really awesome people. So I really appreciate you all so much. So I'm not getting emotional right now. So before, for our lecture portion today, there's like a Q&A in front of you that I actually want to take back. So it's twofold. One, it's information that I need. So if we're doing this in the future, when we find another source, that I know how to make modifications based on what you all say you like. And also, when we do a final report for this grant program, we have to give them feedback directly from you all, where you all have to give like little quotes of what you all say. So I just want to have the proof in case I'm audited or something like that. Because they do randomly, say, you're just making that up. Like, no, that's what they said. Here it is. So if you all could write legibly, please, I really would appreciate that. And so
that means print.
Yeah. No, I like pretty cursive, but just make sure it's you can read it. Yeah, yeah. So if we could start with that, and then we'll kind of just talk through everything. While you all doing that, I'll just review. We're going through 3 recipes today. We're going to start off. I just switched it around. We're going to start off making the dessert first. So it's a deconstructed apple pie crisp. Okay, so it's just layered in a trifle in that kind of way. So hopefully you all like this interpretation of it. Maybe. There's 3 elements to it, so I don't think it'll be done in time by the time the other one's finished. So I don't think it'll work out timing wise. Then we're gonna do. You all had the kale salad. We've done different variations of kale salad. So I wanted to add this one. I did it for my sister. She loved it, and my nephew. When we added some like herbaceous protein bites on top of the salad with the same salad, and it takes it to another level and it makes it even more filling. So we're going to do that. So I've already made the salad. You've all seen me make the salad many times. You've seen me make the dressing at least once in here. So nothing's changed, and it still has the dried blueberries. And then because I only had half a bag, I added a half a bag of dried cherries from last week's recipe. So that's the only thing that's slightly different. And then we're going to do a jollof pasta, jollof spaghetti. So if you were here when we first started the West African portion of the class, the first recipe we did was jollof rice. So, which is a West African staple. Of course, Nigeria makes it best, right? They're a close second. Totally biased. So that sauce is just everything, that obiata, what we talked about. We can use that same sauce when we do it for spaghetti or any kind of pasta. So that's what we're going to do today, so you can have a different feel. Because what I like to do is make that sauce as a batch sauce instead of like a traditional marinara sauce. That's my sauce. That's the sauce we like. And then you put that on whatever you would use a marinara sauce for. So you all can taste it with the pasta and see. And so of course we're doing a whole grain pasta, not that other stuff, right? So today we're going to do it with a brown rice pasta. The grocery store is out of the brown rice spaghetti pasta. So today we have brown rice shells. So you can just imagine it as spaghetti, okay? And then as a backup, if you all are still hungry, I brought another box. You know, it's like one of my favorite pastas. It's made with teff, which is an ancient grain. I always get this one at Whole Foods, actually. But I saw it recently at Publix. Yeah. But this one's the only one I get consistently at Whole Foods. Teff, T-E-F-F. So if you ever had like Ethiopian food, that injera bread is made with teff, which is like one of the world's smallest grains. Like fonio and teff are like the really small grains. That's like even it says it on the box too. It's like, okay, when it's a high source of something, it means it has what's the minimum it has of that particular element. So if it says it's a high source of iron, magnesium, and manganese, it means it has at least how much? Okay, you get the prize. Yes, it means it has at least 20% of that for its daily value. And then it has a good source of fiber and phosphorus. So it's just packed with stuff. And this is actually, This? Yeah. Yep. Just play with the grains. You don't always have to eat wheat and white flour. Is so many options. So many options. Okay, but while I'm blabbing on, if y'all go ahead and fill out that survey and then pass it back to me, and then we will get started. That's a cute dress, Angela. Got the legs out today. And this brand of brown rice pasta, they have it at Food Line now, they have it at Publix, and they have it at Whole Foods. So I'm gonna pass it. So the stuff that they've been getting better on at Food Line is not in the regular section. So this is not with the rest of the pasta. They have like a gluten-free section that has like a little bit of vegan stuff, and that's where you'll find the pasta stuff there in Food Line. So I'm gonna pass this around. The brown rice pasta cooks very quickly. It only cooks like 1 to 2 minutes. And it's done, and it's not gluey, it's not mushy. So I'll pass this around so y'all can see it, Angela. Food Line, Publix, and Whole Foods. Of course, Sprouts and Earth Fare has it as well. So, and they have all different shapes. They have the spaghetti, they have the pin, they have all the shapes in brown rice. Now, what's the question?
1 gram of sugar. How many?
We're talking about refined sugar? Okay, yes, and that's naturally occurring in the test. So it's not refined sugar. So it's totally different from when we're talking about like do not exceed, really should have 0. But being more realistic, you don't want to exceed more than 8 grams of refined sugar a day, which is 2 teaspoons. Okay, 2 teaspoons for the entire day of refined sugar. So that's all the crappy drinks and sodas you're drinking, anything that's processed, cereals, all that stuff, refined sugar should be 8 grams or less. It should ideally be 0. You should be eating no refined sugar. 8 grams. Y'all remember when I brought all those sugar cubes in? You weren't here for that. But I brought in some drinks, and I brought in how much when they put it in the metric system to confuse you. Because we don't use grams, right? You said teaspoons, right? And I showed you, and when it says 42 grams of sugar in just half a drink, how many teaspoons of sugar that really is. And that's just in one little thing of tea. Then think about everything else you're eating throughout the day. That's why the average American eats almost 150 pounds of sugar per person, annually. 150 pounds of sugar. Yes, that's why the diseases have gone like this, that they've tried to normalize.
And nobody attributes it to the sugar.
The sugar is killing people. It's killing people slowly, yeah. No, that was on the low end. I brought in lemonade that had 77 grams of sugar, and they had 2 servings in that one little 16-ounce bottle. I brought in Sunkist, and I brought in ginger ale. Hey, and the small one, I think it was 62 grams of sugar. So you're talking about between 18 and 27 teaspoons of sugar in one drink. In one drink. So think about all the stuff you're eating. So even the sauces, like those barbecue sauces and what's it? Ketchup, all that crap has all that refined sugar, and you're eating sugar at every turn. You're eating so much refined sugar, and it is not good. And then if you're a person with a sweet tooth and you like to eat actual candy and sugar on top of all that, you're getting way too much sugar. Your gut microbiome will be thrown off, and it causes health issues. So it's really bad, and it dehydrates you. So we're going to get started with our first recipe. I think we're a little ahead on time. Let's see, where are we? 3:06. Thank you. I can put mine over here. Thank you. All right. So I wasn't planning on doing this as a lesson today, but let's just have that recap on refined sugar. Why am I always emphasizing to not eat refined products? That means refined flour, so no white flour, no white sugar, no white rice, none of the stuff that's been stripped of all of its nutrients and all of its fiber and all of its minerals. If it's naturally white in nature, it's fine. because that's an antioxidant. If it's been made white, it's not for you. Okay? It's not for you. It is not a health promoting food. So when you're eating food, think, is this adding to your health or is this detracting from your health? And more often than not, it's probably detracting from your health. If it's something that came out of a box that's been beautifully wrapped, it's probably not that good for you most of the time. Most of the time. So just to recap, what is the recommended amount, max limit of how much refined sugar to consume in a day? 8 grams. And 8 grams is what? 2 teaspoons for the entire day.
Y'all put more than that in your coffee.
For the entire day. That doesn't mean you can't have things sweet. It means you eat the sugar in this whole form. So you could use, if you need a sugar, you could use a coconut sugar, a date sugar. You could use, hey, we just got started. Hey, come on. We just got started. You want to make sure that it's still molecularly whole. It still has its fiber. It still has its minerals. It doesn't spike your blood sugar when you eat those types of sugar. When you eat a whole date, it doesn't spike your blood sugar. It doesn't cause havoc in the body. It doesn't dehydrate you because it's filled with fiber. It's filled with minerals. It's actually really good for you. So that's why you really want to make sure you're doing it. That white sugar.
What about that turbinado sugar?
Nope, that is still turbinado, brown. No, that is white sugar that has a little bit of molasses in it. Okay, it's still been stripped. It's just, yeah, Jack.
Okay, I use the raw cane. No to that?
That is refined sugar.
Still refined?
Yes, ma'am, that's refined.
Erythritol. Oh, excuse me. I was supposed to what about watch that? I don't give them nothing. Okay. I give them stevia. That's all I give them. Well, then you don't have nothing.
Yeah, stevia or monk fruit. If you're on a no sugar plan, then stevia or monk fruit. Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
When I eat a date,
Yes.
which I really like,
Yes.
that is the sweetest thing in my pantry. And I always feel guilty when I eat them because I don't just eat one.
Okay. Two is okay. 2 is a serving. 2 dates is a serving. Okay. Because dates, as small as they are, it is like completely filled with fiber. So you weren't here for us, but we did a thing where we had 2 slices of bread, like 1 slice of white bread, 1 slice of whole wheat bread. I used to mimic our stomach acid, I poured orange juice over both. It sat for 5 minutes. The white bread, which has no fiber, completely disintegrated. Okay, what does that mean? Like when you eat a hamburger bun or hot dog bun or any of that white flour crap, okay? It spikes your blood sugar. You're gonna be hungrier faster. You're not gonna be as satiated when you eat. It is because there's no nutrients to it. Whereas the whole grain bread stays fully intact, meaning what? It's sustaining your energy. It's not spiking anything. It's gonna break down very slowly. And you're gonna get all the nutrients that's in the whole grain because it has been stripped. So the same thing is happening with the date. The date is whole. All the fiber, all the minerals, you're getting all that, and it's going to come evenly. It's not going to do this, and then it's not going to make you crave more sweets. Usually, you eat a few dates, you're satisfied. If you're still craving, it's because you have other issues that need to be addressed. Yeah, other deficiencies, yes, that need to be addressed. So I'm not a fan of sugar alcohols at all. With the exception of one of them, xylitol, like our bodies don't break them down properly. That's the issue. That's the issue I personally have with your body. It's not natural. It doesn't break down properly. So I would avoid those personally. Especially you're going to find those more in what they call the diet sodas, the diet foods. If you're going to eat that, eat the real thing. Like don't drink the diet. If you're going to drink the poison, drink the whole poison. Don't drink yes, go for it. Do not drink a diet. If you're going to drink a Coke, drink a Coke. Don't drink that Diet Coke or Pepsi or whatever. You shouldn't drink either one. But if a gun's to my head, then I'm going to pick the regular one that's actually made with regular sugar than this manufactured one that's actually doing even more harm than the Coke's already doing. So, huh? Yeah.
Is that the xylitol? Is that the one they put in peanut butter?
It shouldn't be in peanut butter. That scares me to even think about that. So that's when the xylitol is going to be right there beside your NutraSweet, your Sweet and Low, your Splenda, all those. It's marketing and it's just not good for you. If you're going to eat sugar, eat the whole sugar. Just like if we talk about fats, when we say we don't want to use oils, you eat where it comes from. So you eat the avocado, you eat the coconut. You don't use all this freaking oil that's going to stiffen your arteries and cause a lot of heart disease down the road and inflammation in the body, and it's just not good. Okay, just eat the way it was intended to be eaten. If you're going to choose an oil or cook with an oil or use an oil, use as little as possible and make sure it's one that's not overly processed. Because now think about it. When you cut up an avocado or an olive, it's greasy, it's oily, naturally. These vegetable oils that they try to tout as healthy, it's, oh my God. First of all, if you open up a seed for the ones that they're using, there's nothing oily about that. It's a chemical that they use in a factory to extract the oils. Chemical, off gate. So you already know I'm anti that because that's not natural. Okay? That's why if you're going to use an oil, you can use like a palm oil, because if you've ever seen like the palm nut, when you take it off the tree, the oil's coming out of it already. It's natural. Coconut, when you're doing coconut, the oil rises to the top by itself. That's natural. But when you're trying to go into these, like they talk about rapeseed and all this crap, no, that is process on top of process. And then because they're having to process it like that, the oil is oxidized. That's what makes it so bad for you. So when we talk about oxidation in your body, what does that mean? When you have increased oxidation in your body, that means you have an increased amount of what? Free radicals. Free radicals cause all the inflammation and havoc to your DNA, your cells. It starts wreaking havoc in your body, and that's why you have to eat the antioxidants, because the oxidized food that you're eating is causing that. So when you're eating all these oils and all these packaged foods, if it's packaged, it's because it has to have a shelf life, it's going to have that in there. And that's not healthy. You're not treating yourself when you say, I'm just going to have a little treat or something. No. Don't treat yourself with food. Don't reward yourself with food, because it's the wrong association in your brain. Okay? Unless you're rewarding yourself with some grapes or an apple or some carrots or something like that. But don't treat yourself with with poison. Because that's really what it is. It's just little by little every single day. It makes me think of this one thing. We'll go ahead and get started on the cooking. There was this commercial that came out a few years ago. Y'all remember when Flint had that water issue? Yeah. Okay. Still having that water issue. But when it was like hot and heavy when it came out, there was this commercial that came out, and they were talking about lead in the water. And they were giving water to people, and it was hilarious to me because the look on people's faces, they're like, oh, it has the allowable amount of lead in the water. It's safe to drink. And everyone's like, I'm not drinking water with lead in it. Okay, but everything else is the same principle. It is the same principle. Because you know it's poison, and they say it's the allowable amount, just like in the milk. It's the allowable amount of blood and pus in your milk, and you drink it and you eat it. Okay? And you're fine with that. When they tell you lead, then it's like, oh no, you're eating worse things. You're eating worse things, and you call it a treat. It's not a treat. Okay? Yeah.
So if we're taking water that we filtered in a Brita, or that comes out of our refrigerator and supposedly is filtered, how bad is that?
I'm on camera. You want to, hey Margaret. You want to drink the best water you can. So whatever you have access to, because everyone may not currently have access to the best types of water. The best type of water is, of course, going to be from the ground, spring water, right? Or if you have water that's from a filter, if you put fruit in it, like if you put lime or something, it alkalizes the water and it helps get rid of some of the other stuff. So you can do that. That's a very healthy and cheap way to do it. If you want to use a filter, Brita doesn't really filter out all that much stuff, to be honest with you. Just do the best that you can. That's what I can say. Yes.
What's the difference between the Majul date and the something?
Neglect?
Neglect, yeah.
The neglects are smaller and they're not as sweet, and they're cheaper.
They're cheaper?
They're a lot cheaper than Majul dates. Majul dates, I brought in the Sukari dates, and those are super sweet, right? The Majul dates are the sweetest dates that you can find pretty much everywhere. And then the neglect dates are like half or a third the size of a medjool date. They're not as sweet, and they're a lot cheaper per pound.
Do they have the same nutritional value?
Mm-hmm.
Same calories?
Yeah. Well, no, you'll eat more. Hey, you can come as a chair over here. You can eat, I think, so one serving of dates is 77 calories. That's 2 medjool dates, or that is 4 to 5 neglect dates. Those are the ones I know. Now for the other, because there's so many types of dates, I don't know the other ones off the top of my head. I would have to look those up. Yeah, but the other dates are all still fun. They're still super healthy. Okay. Any other questions on refined sugar? So, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, you made a very good point that I have to pay attention to now, because I say I'm going to treat myself, and when I treat myself, I get something decadent and good, and it's food, you know, so I have to retrain and reprogram myself to stop saying that and to say I'm going to have a treat that is from the ground.
Or your salad is your treat to yourself. The main dish you're eating is the treat to yourself. You're giving your body that love. You know, just flipping that around. How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, that's the main thing. And so before we get, so as I go ahead and get started, our healthy dessert. When I brought in those poisonous drinks that I wasted my money on to show you all that example. Yeah, Devon told me not to. I was going to return them. He's like, "Don't return them. You can use them again for another prop." I'm like, "It's like that's a good point." How much sugar does the average human body need to stay optimal every day? How much is required? Because our bodies need sugar. Who recalls how much sugar is required in your blood? Well, say it in imperial, not metric, because we use the imperial system. So how much? No, ma'am. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. So who remembers 5 liters of blood is what's in the average human's body, which is how many cups? Who recalls? It's approximately 22 cups, 21 and a half cups of blood is in the average human's body. Okay, so for your body to maintain homeostasis, your body requires 1 teaspoon of sugar.
Per day. That's per day.
Yeah, 1 teaspoon of sugar for everything to maintain. Okay, so out of 22 cups of blood, 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then you're putting sugar. And even savory, sweet, snack, everything is sugar. It's sugar and fat and salt and sugar and fat and salt. It's just horrible. Okay, so when you think about that, and then I say, as an extreme, the max refined sugar, which really should be 0, if you're just to be, 8 grams or 4 teaspoons of refined sugar in a whole day, that's 4 times the amount your body needs.
That doesn't include the natural sugar that may come from fruit.
No, what I'm saying is, in terms of additional, your body only requires the 1 teaspoon of sugar in terms of keeping everything maintained, like where your blood sugar is not too low, not too high, and assuming everything else in a healthy body. Let me say that, in a healthy body, 1 teaspoon of sugar for 5 liters of blood. Okay, that's all that's required.
So when you say sugar, do you mean carbs? I mean, I'm not sure when you say sugar.
I mean, right now I'm talking about refined sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right now I'm really specifically referring to refined sugar. But our bodies don't require any refined sugar. So the answer is you really should have 0% of refined sugar a day.
You have to have it.
You don't have to if you make the choice to have something with refined sugar. Then make sure it doesn't exceed 8 grams, which is 4 teaspoons. Okay. All right. So we're going to start making our dessert today. So this is like it's like a deconstructed apple pie trifle, I'm calling it. An apple pie crisp that made into a trifle. Okay. So it's the healthy version. It's with the healthy fats because it's going to eat the whole fat because we're doing a cashew cream. I personally like to do it with hemp cream. That's what at home, that's what I would normally do it with. But cashew cream, it might be easier for folks to get cashews or not. And I'm turn this oven on because y'all know it loves to act up. Okay, let me just go ahead and get her going. So yeah, while that's warming up, we're gonna stew the apples. So I already chopped up the apples because I didn't think y'all need to watch me chop apples. Okay, and I use a handy dandy tool. This is just an apple chopper. It cores it out. It makes it go a little faster. So not sponsored, but they can sponsor me. Okay. All right. And then we're gonna make our own. So pre-changing my diet, I love cereal. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love Frosted Flakes. I love any kind of granola-y cereal that costs $8 a bag for this much, right? Which I can eat in one bowl. All right. And then when I start making stuff, I'm like, making your own granola is so cheap. Why they charge almost $10 a bag for 2 bowls of cereal? So we're gonna make our own little granola topping to go on top. So some portions, if you look on the website, it's broken down to 3 parts. So we have our stewed apple portion, which we're about to start that. We have the oat crisp, which is the granola that will go on top. And then we have the cashew cream, which it could be substituted for hemp cream. It can be substituted for cannellini bean cream, whatever you want to do, okay? You just substitute for that. So we're going to go ahead and get the apples going and then get the oat crisp going and make the cashew part last. And I already pre-made some for you all, but it's not quite enough, so we're going to go with it. Okay, yeah.
What type of apples did you use?
I use Honey Crisp because they're my favorite,
Okay.
but you can use whatever. You can use Granny Smith, whatever apple that you will eat, use it, okay? And I choose to leave the skins on because that's where most of the fiber is and where a lot of the nutrition is, so it's not just the sugar, okay? 'Cause we're already cooking it, so don't remove all the extra nutrients.
What do you mean, leaving the peels on it? I hate the peels, and I'm from the number 1 apple producing county in the state. I cannot eat peels, so I'm blaming myself. I'm gonna eat the peels.
But today we'll have some peels. Today we'll have some peels. Now, when you make this on your own, if you feel so inclined that you have to, remove the nutrition, then, then do you.
Jackie, yes, you gonna eat some peels. Okay. Hey, please, I don't like it, right? We're gonna give you a little bit, you gonna eat some. Yes, ma'am.
So we're making the dessert first because since I already chopped up these apples, I didn't want them to start to oxidize too much. So, because I know if I made this first, y'all gonna want to eat it first. I was trying to balance that out. So I always prefer to serve it all together, huh?
Those don't look quartered.
They are. Yeah, it's just a big lemon. Yep. Yeah, I cut it in 4s. You came before? No?
It's my
First time?
I met her yesterday.
Oh, well, welcome. Glad to have you. Glad that you're here. Okay. To get everything out. Okay, so who's following along so y'all can tell me what I'm supposed to add?
2 tablespoons of baking soda.
You went to the sugar. She went straight to the sugar. Okay. Now, I'm using Ceylon cinnamon we talked about because the regular cinnamon in grocery stores, the way they're manufactured now, they're made with a lot of heavy metals. And unless you're eating a lot of fiber to detoxify that, it's better to get the Ceylon cinnamon that doesn't have that. Hey, Leon.
What is it called?
Ceylon cinnamon, Ceylon. Huh? Oh. Okay. And what else are we supposed to add? So I added the lemon juice already. And I had already put, I'm doubling this part of the recipe. So I already put 1 lemon on it, and then y'all saw me put the second lemon. I might put in some more maple. Is it 2 tablespoons?
Yeah, 2 tablespoons.
Okay. I'm gonna start with 3. 1, 2, 3. No. It's not. Hey, Q. That's true. That's very true. All right. So we're going to let this stew for 15 minutes, and they're going to get softened. I was going to make sure everything's thoroughly coated in the...
You put the vanilla powder in?
I did not, thank you. Okay, so I put on the recipe vanilla powder because I'm bougie sometimes, y'all. So I like to see the little flecks of vanilla. Okay, that's just a personal preference. You can use vanilla extract, you can use vanilla paste, or you can use vanilla powder. So this one came imported from Canada. There's a place called thevanillashop.com, and they make awesome, like, I just like the quality of their products. So here is like vanilla beans just ground up. So you know this is a little pricey, but so you use whatever you feel inspired to. Vanilla, whatever. Okay, so I've been hearing like TJ Maxx and those places have those things. I just don't enjoy shopping, so I don't ever make it out there to catch that stuff. And I like the consistency. I want to show up somewhere when I finally do shop and it be there. Not like, oh, you missed it. It was here last week. Like, okay.
And a quarter teaspoon of salt.
Okay, thank you, Angela. All right. This is some more bougie salt, but whatever salt you have, okay? I can't remember which one that one is. I'm telling you, my spice collection is ain't nothing cheap. I just like to experiment. That's how I waste my money. It's all that. It's all in my kitchen. It's nowhere else. It's not in my closet. It's not in my car. It's not. No, I spend my money on my hair and spices. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I want to do some like dinner parties and stuff now that the weather is getting good. Yeah, y'all are open invitation. Open invitation. Okay, I think I had to add that last tablespoon of maple syrup based on how it's looking. All right. I see I'm starting to lose y'all already. Dang, y'all. Okay. Let me get it together. Okay. Come back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the granola, which is so freaking easy. Now, because I already have some granola left over from this morning, I'm not gonna double this one. I'm gonna follow the recipe exactly. So I think it's 1 cup of oats. And of course, these are organic oats. My favorite ones that are sprouted, they were sold out. So apparently when I say something, it gets sold out real quick. I said, look, y'all got to keep this thing in stock, okay? I talked to him this morning, and I went to go get it. He said, they just can't keep up. All right, and so I think it's 1/3 cup of almond flour or oat flour. Yes. So you don't have to buy oat flour. You can just blend some oats, and there's your oat flour, okay? All right, save yourself that money. But I'm just going to use the almond flour because I already had it, okay? And then, what is it, a tablespoon of coconut sugar?
Coconut oil and coconut sugar.
Okay, I'm about to do the wrong thing. Y'all are hilarious, man. Okay. So you can do this without the coconut oil. This is how much coconut oil it is. It's not even a full tablespoon. I just put a tablespoon because it's closer to that. I like the flavor that it added when I added it versus not having it. Okay, that's the only reason why it's there. It's a flavor enhancer, not because the oil's needed. All right. Yep. Thank you. Where's the thumb? Which one? No, in a mason jar on the counter. Yep. It's 2, right? Mm-hmm. 2. Okay. All right, and so now we just mix this together. And just eating this raw tastes very good. Okay, it really does. We're baking it because it gets crispy, so it adds a textural contrast with our trifle. That's the only reason for it. But if you want to eat it raw on top, do it. Okay. That's Leon's dish too. Oh yeah, you did say that. I have another ranola recipe I came up with, a lemon vanilla ranola. No, I had to experiment first. I tested it out. I said, okay. And then I realized we don't have any more classes to do it. So I'll post it. Yeah, I'll post it. Okay, so that's it. Wait. And then I think just for good measure, I just might add a little glug of cinnamon just to keep that going. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I have our baking tray here, and I got a larger one for this amount because if they're not spread out evenly, it's just going to steam, and no one wants steamed oats on top. Doesn't sound very good. It's very simple. All right. So it's going to bake in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. And then we're going to, halfway through, we're going to stop and kind of flip it over so that it's browned on both sides. Okay, so someone get their stop clock, their alarm clock ready. And once I put it in, set the alarm for 6 minutes. Yep. Okay. Okay. Can y'all see that? Yep. This is on 350. Now, I will tell you this. If you decide to start making your own granola after you see how incredibly easy it is, and then you can flavor it however you like it, it burns very quickly. Okay? So you definitely, the flipping halfway through is not optional because it'll just be, it'll burn. Okay? You have to halfway through flip it. So that's the only quirky part. All right, 6 minutes, somebody. All right, awesome. Now, while that's happening, that's still stewing. By the time that's finished, those apples should be ready. We're going to go ahead and make our cashew cream. Now, this one I'm doubling. All right. Now, with the cashew cream, when we're making this, you can make this as thick or thin as you like. Now, personally, at home, I like it thick. Okay? I like it thick. But if you like it thinner and you want it more of a drizzle, do that. And all the difference is adding more milk or not, all right? I made this cashew milk, so I just brought it from home. And that's all that is. All right, so this is 3/4 a cup, right, of cashews. So I'm gonna add 2 cups of cashews. Well, maybe 1.5 cups. We'll let the spirit guide me. Oh, you're reading? Okay. 3. Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, but we have a new baby. Okay. My other baby, unfortunately, she died. She died last week. So my husband got me a new one this past week. 'Cause I was behind on my sea moss orders and everything. I couldn't blend anything. So here's our new baby, y'all. She's pretty. She works a little bit different. I'm still getting used to her, but yeah, I'm very happy. Okay, so we got the cashews. What else? What's next?
1/2 cup of your product of choice.
Okay, I'm gonna add that in last. What else?
Okay, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup.
Okay, so that will be 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then what else? All right. Okay. I know. I meant to go back and get some, and they were closed when I was doing it, when I was shopping. So I said, oh, well, I had to spend the $23 on that crap instead of $27 on the good stuff. So, Okay, what else?
I think that's it. You said you're gonna put the milk in last.
Huh?
The milk, that's it.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to start there and see the consistency. And if y'all say you want it thinner, we can do it thinner. Okay. All right. I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay.
Somebody was asking how to make the cashew.
Just milk and water. Who asked?
Cashews and water?
Yep. So I have a machine called the Almond Cow, and you can put whatever nut, seed, or grain and make milk from it. But you can just take 1 cup of cashews to 3 to 4 cups, depending on how thick you want it, in a blender like this. Blend it for about 1.5 minutes, and then strain it, and then there's your milk. And then it will last between 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. When you make your own milks, it doesn't have the preservatives and stuff in it. That's why it doesn't last as long, which is a good thing, actually. Okay.
You said 1 cup to 3 what?
So the ratio typically is 1 to 4, but I like mine a little bit thicker, so I use 3. Okay. All right. So here's our cashew cream, y'all. She's nice and thick. Do y'all want it? Y'all want it a little thinner, or y'all good? Aye. Okay. Oh yeah, and then take the pulp and you can make brownies and cookies and all kinds of stuff, or you can put it in trail mix like the granola. You can add it to that. I mean, so many things you can do with it. So don't throw, or put it in a smoothie. It'll be a fiber boost and a protein boost. Okay, let's check on these apples. Okay, so we're getting salt. I'm gonna keep the lid off now. They're gonna keep stewing down. Cashew is, you would just blend just the cashews with a little bit of water. Actually, no, you just blend the cashews, and you could add like a 1/4 teaspoon of oil to make it super creamy. Sometimes if you don't add like a drop of oil like that, I'm talking about literally like a drop of oil, makes a huge difference. So you just put, and I actually prefer to make them in the food processor. Because it does it more evenly. Than here, the bottom gets better than the top, and you have to go in and keep mixing it. But in the food processor, you just put just cashews. And they're going to tell you to roast your nuts first, but of course it's going to degrade it. So if you want to make raw cashew butter or roasted cashew butter, is your choice. But it's still a lot cheaper than buying it because it's expensive. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. All right, can somebody set the alarm again? Let's do another 6, because this oven's not as hot as mine at home. Okay. Okay. All right, so these apples are looking really good, so we're gonna let them keep stewing down. Okay. All right, so we're good. I should make some more. I would like for y'all to try the cashew cream, but then we'll have to make another batch. No, so I buy vanilla beans locally, but like for stuff like this, because I'm not going to take my super expensive vanilla beans and ground them up. I just want to buy them like that. It's a psychological thing, and I know it's petty. But no, I'll go to thevanillashop.com, and that's where I got this from. And they took vanilla bean pods and just grind them up so you can use this powder. The whole pod. Yeah.
What else they have on their website?
A lot of stuff.
Oh, do they? Her whole part.
It's a dangerous site. It's a dangerous site for a person like me. Yeah. I do. I love spices. Okay. And this will last for a very long time, you know. And it's worth it. It's very pungent. They use the Madagascar beans. Yes. If you buy the individual like that, I buy them in bulk, but they're still expensive. I mean, it's the second most expensive herb on the planet. So, yeah. Saffron's the most expensive, which I have lots of that in my house too. From different countries. Okay. All right. How are we feeling? All right. So how I would do this at home, I would get a mason jar and a little one, y'all. Don't get like a 32-ounce mason jar for this, okay? I would put the cashew cream on the bottom just a little bit, then put the apples, then a thin layer of the cream, and then you top it with the crisp, with the oats. So that's our deconstructed apple crisp, or deconstructed apple trifle is what I'm calling it, okay? So it's a lot more fruit, a lot less crust and all that. So, you know, just a variation. We did the blueberry lemon crisp in here. We did another crisp. I can't remember the other one we did. So, huh? We did some other crisp. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. Yeah. So, I just feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah, I can't place you if it wasn't here, but I've seen you before. You been to dance class? No? I met you somewhere else because I recognize you for sure. It keep coming up to me. Okay. All right. How many more minutes on the oatmeal crisp? Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and kind of start the next recipe while we wait for that to happen. All right. So everyone's had my now, I guess, famous kale salad. Okay. So we got that for you again today if you missed the introduction. But here's another variety, another way to amp it up, okay? So I did this for my sister, my nephew, my sister-in-law. They really loved it. So I thought y'all might like it, okay? It's a way to add more, if you care about it, to add more protein to your salad, right? Not that that's a big deal because you get plenty of protein, okay? No one's protein deficient in here, and you don't know anybody who's protein deficient, okay? But you get more protein, and it adds just more nutrients to your salad, and it makes the salad more filling, and it gives another level of flavor. So you already have the flavor of the kale salad by itself, which is very flavorful, and adding this to it, it's just a lot happening in your mouth. So hopefully you all will like it, okay? So, move this out the way. For those of you trying to transition to a plant-based diet or to eat more plants, if you start with a salad a day or a smoothie a day, your health, you'll see a huge difference just with doing that one thing. If you don't change anything else with all the crap that you're doing, just adding in that one meal that's plant-based, like a good salad or a smoothie, you will see a huge difference. All right, and we're starting to get that syrupy consistency here. So it's almost there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see the apples? Okay, so it's almost there, y'all. It's almost there. Okay. So I have regular tofu here and some chickpea tofu in here as well. So you can use pumpkin seed tofu, chickpea tofu, red lentil tofu, regular tofu, whatever you want, okay? So all I did was just take it out the refrigerator and I just crumbled it. Exhibit A, okay? It's crumbled. I'm going to put it in this very large pan because I don't want it to steam it. I want it to kind of be like the oatmeal crisp and kind of get a little bit crispy, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and lay that in here.
Don't you just love those Rubbermaid brilliants?
Yes, I do. Very much. I have my whole house is these actually. I don't have
Not be without.
any plastic.
Whatever needs to see in the refrigerator.
That's right. Okay, perfect.
Girl, I love it.
All right.
Forget putting plastic in the refrigerator.
That's right.
See what I see.
Okay.
I know exactly what I'm looking at.
Okay. Y'all see that? Okay. So we're going to let this cool so it can continue to crisp up. Okay. All right. Our apples are looking pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Just rinse this real quick. Okay. So for our, what did I call it? Herby. I just make up stuff. What did I say? What is it called? Yeah, I just, I need help in that department. Herby, whatever I said, herby protein things. Okay. All right, so the key with that is we're going to create this awesome marinade. So it's very, very flavorful, and bake it. I don't want these to burn. We're almost there. I'm going to turn this off. That's looking pretty good to me. I don't know if y'all, let me show y'all. Yeah. I like to do this, if you batch prep this in a week, then when you're making like your oatmeal or like your chia seed puddings, it's already done and it's really good. So you don't have to spend so much time. Okay. Where's my actual? Okay. Anyway, so I'm doubling this recipe for y'all so it's enough for the salad. So a couple of things will make this one different from at home because, you know, my bougie stuff sometimes. I don't have any basic balsamic vinegar. And I was like, I was about to go buy some that I wasn't going to use. So this is from Texas. I like the Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company. They make amazing balsamic vinegars, and they come in different flavors. My favorite one is the peach flavored one, and they make it with real fruit. It's not artificially flavored or anything like that. Absolutely delicious. Of course, that's all finished because I used it all. So today I'm using a maple one, and because I knew I had to double it, and I didn't think I had enough, the other one I have is pineapple. So that'll be slightly different. And then just out of curiosity, I saw, my favorite bouillon company, they came out with a culinary collection. So they have a sofrito mix, they have this Italian herb mix, and because we're using Italian seasonings, as they like to call it, I was like, okay, I was gonna put a little bit of this just to see, because I haven't opened it yet, as y'all can see. I just wanted to do that. Now you can just use like a regular Italian seasoning for this, or you can go and put them in separately, but I put the separate ones out because that way it can be fresher, and you can of course get it organic that way, because I haven't seen them sell the pre-made stuff organic. And then for the folks that were in our class before, their famous smoked paprika. Okay, actually no, that's for this recipe, that's over here. Okay, all right, and then we have our organic tamari. Now what's the difference between tamari and soy sauce? Say it again. Gluten-free. Yes, gluten-free. So if you have a gluten sensitivity or you have celiac disease, use tamari over soy sauce. Or if you have a soy allergy, then use coconut aminos or liquid aminos. Okay. Okay. And that's over here too. All right, and that's over here too. I just put all the spices on the tray apparently. All right. All right. So what's first?
The 2 tablespoons of tamari.
Of tamari. Okay, so I need 4 tablespoons of tamari. So I'm gonna use this one first. Oh, I'm gonna have to measure this one out. Certain openings. Yeah. This is the, I don't remember, Herbie.
Herbie baked protein bites.
There we go. That sounds right. Well, look, whatever. All right.
And 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar.
Are you doubling it?
No, so 6 tablespoons.
Okay, so how much tamari was it?
You did it before.
Okay.
So then 6 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar.
All right. You said 6 tablespoons?
Because you're doubling.
All right. And 6. All right. All right, so no pineapple then. It was all maple. But you can, I'll let y'all taste it. If y'all want to do a tasting of this one, you can. I'm telling you, if that peach one is fire and the maple one's fire, the pineapple's okay. I like it. It doesn't compare to the other ones though. All right, what else?
So then 4 tablespoons of tomato paste.
All right, just rinse this off real quick. It's supposed to be in the oven. It's gonna go in the oven. All right, you said 4 tablespoons? Yes. That's doubled? Okay. All right. Muir Glen Organic. Okay, and what else? All right. I plan to use this one and substitute for that. So I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon because it's concentrated. I'm using this in place of the garlic because this is garlic. Yep. Ooh, that smells good. I think we might like that. All right. And then what's the
4 teaspoons of dry basil.
how much?
4 teaspoons.
So that's a tablespoon. Yeah, it is. All right. All right, so that's our basil. What else?
And then
Thyme. I see how I go through spices. Haven't even had this that long. All right, and then oregano. I think they're all equal parts. I don't remember doing them differently. All right. If you all buy the measuring spoons that are long like this, they'll fit in the bottles versus the circle, the scoop, the spoon kind. All right, is that it? Mm-hmm. All right. So y'all see this is a super simple marinade with pantry staple ingredients. Oh. These should be staple. They should be staple. Italian seasoning, everyone has. Balsamic vinegar should be. If you're a cook, you should have it. And then what? Soy sauce y'all have? Tomato paste y'all have? Garlic? Yeah. I try to make sure there's no, unless it's a ethnic dish. All right. Okay, so that's it. So now I'm going to pour it over this. All right. I'll give you the bowl.
So rich. Like when you get the kids the cake bowl.
Y'all want to try this vinegar? I mean, this balsamic vinegar, the pineapple one. Like, it's not my favorite one, but it's still good. Okay. All right. When you're using your hands, this is when you always impart your intentions in the food. Okay. This is when I do like my prayers and my intention that this is going to be delicious and healthy and nourishing to your body, and put that energy into the food. Because it does count, at least in my mind. Oh no. In your tummy too. Love. Always need a little love. All right, so now I'm just going to spread this out. Now you see when I crumbed it, I left bigger chunks on purpose. It's not uniform, and that's intentional. Okay. I should have still got a bigger pan than this. Yeah, look a little steamy, but we're going to roll with it because it's what I got. Okay. Yeah, it just changed by itself. Now it's at 300. I set it at 350. I can't stand the stove. But anyway, that's what we have. We're going to use it. It does what it wants to do. It does whatever it wants to do. All right. Okay. Do y'all see it? Okay. So you can prep this. So when you're making your salad, you can put this in wraps. Okay. You can put this on top in soups. It's so many options to add that quote unquote protein boost, but it makes whatever you're eating more filling, more satiating. So you're adding just more nutrients. So it's just something to consider. Okay. All right. How long does that say to bake?
20 minutes.
All right. Somebody set their alarm for 20 minutes. Okay. Devon, do y'all have spoons? All right. I'll let y'all taste this. Pour gently, Damon. It comes out fast. So this is twofold. If you incorporate vinegar, particularly if you eat it take it right before, it will prevent it helps to blunt any blood sugar spikes. So that's why you should always try to have vinegar with the meal, and it will help with your digestion as well. So by you all sampling this vinegar, it's going to help continue to normalize. So if your blood sugar is currently high, it will help bring it down. Okay. All right. Yeah, they're very, very delicious. Okay. Okay. But the peach one and I have 5 flavors right now. They're all good, but that peach one is amazing. Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company. They're out of Colorado. One more time? When you make the oatmeal, make sure you put some ice in it because it can get slimy quickly when you blend it too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when I'm blending it,
Huh?
when I'm blending it,
Yeah, make sure you blend it on high speed, but don't go for too long because it can get slimy. So that's why you want to make sure it's cold water and maybe even put some ice in it.
okay,
Yeah, just for the oat milk. Almond milk or anything like that, it's not an issue.
oats do have that nutrient.
Yeah, exactly. And so it can come out and the milk was not desirable. So, but if you blend it too long and it gets warm, that's what will happen. Yep. Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company is their name of the company. Is Google it. It's their website. Huh? Yeah. Because they're in Colorado. Yeah. So they sell olive oils and they do it like in the old school way where it's all cold pressed and all that. But since I don't really do the oil, they have a whole balsamic line. And they have all flavors that they use real fruit and they have a very clean standardized process and their flavors are amazing. Again, this is how I spend my money. It'll keep your blood sugar from going through the roof.
No more spoons in there?
No. Can you scoop out the cream and rinse it out? I'm about to go to the next dish.
You want me to do what with it?
Take all the cream out here, everything you can possibly get out, and then rinse it out. Okay, so sounds like y'all kind of liked it. There's a little bit of this maple. If somebody wants to try a little bit of that's left. Okay. Okay. Well, balsamic vinegar is naturally sweet anyway, and then when they add the fresh fruit, it tastes a little. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. Okay, so y'all are back alive. Welcome back. No more zombies, so y'all are back. So praise God for that. I'm happy. All right, seems like most of y'all like the balsamic vinegar. But the company is very good. I'm not gonna say they're super cheap, but I think it's worth the price. Huh? So what else? $22 a bottle. It's cheap, right?
That's not that expensive.
Yeah, for the quality, it's made in the United States. It's not imported, and
You use gallons of it anyway. You use
this barrel. This is for when you want that flavor to come through. Yeah. And I buy them in bulk, so it doesn't ever. I spend like $60 or $70, and I get like 5 bottles. So. Yeah. Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all still 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 hear me? That's my polite way of saying let's bring it back. Okay. I'm glad y'all like that. I'm glad y'all back with me. So, when we were in West Africa, remember we talked about, what do I say? You don't want to season your food, you want to think about flavor profiles. Because that's like the number one question I get. The number one question I get is, I don't know how to season my food. And I say, it's not about seasoning your food, it's about flavor profiles. If you think about flavor profiles, you don't ever have to worry about seasoning your food, outside of like salt and pepper. So when we were in West Africa, what's that flavor profile? Who recalls? What's the basis? Now, these are the American equivalents, PS, but yes, red bell pepper. It will be tatache there, yes. Red bell pepper. Tomatoes. Red onion. Yes, that's like the Holy Trinity. That's like the equivalent of the mirepoix that we had, that the French use that we use in the United States, which is the celery, carrot, and onion. So yes, we have the tomato, the bell pepper, and the red onion. So what other flavors do we typically see in West African cooking? Yeah. True peppers.
It's not a flavor though.
Palm oil actually is flavored. It does have a flavor to it, but yeah. In traditional cooking, yes, but I want to include oil as a staple. You know, we're going to accessorize with that. Remember, we had nutmeg, thyme, bay leaf, right? And these are the English equivalents, but we have a different. We have calabash nutmeg, which tastes different than this. They're different, but for here, that's what we have. So if you're thinking about that, then instead of thinking about how do I season, if you're thinking about those types of things, then it's like now you know what to come and grab, because then you know it already works together. So when you think about Mediterranean flavors, when you think about Italian flavors, you know about that flavor profile, and those things work together instead of thinking about I don't know how to season my food. Yep.
Can I ask a big favor? Since you mentioned all that, can you put that on your website for?
Actually, I just finished half of the video about how to season food. Yeah, so I had to record the second half. Yep. Because I get that question all the time, so I'm going to do a video about that. Okay. Yes, this is hot. Got too hot. Okay. So if you recall, that Holy Trinity that we just kind of spoke of was like the base that we blended up. We have a tomato pepper base that's in so many West African dishes, that tomato pepper base that you add different seasonings to. So we're using pretty much the exact seasoning, the exact blend we did for the jollof rice, and you just use that as your pasta, and that's how we do it. Now the other ingredient that we had passed around before was iru. Anyone recall what the iru is? So it was that fermented locust bean that kind of smelled like cheese and chocolate and something else. And I passed it around. It had that interesting smell that you all had. We use it as a background flavor in most of our dishes, right? So I put the iru there as optional because you have to go to a West African market to get it. And if it's like it'll probably say, instead of iru, it'll say dawa dawa. That's how they say it in Ghana, iru in Nigeria. So I blended some iru with a nori sheet because typically we would add dried crayfish to the jollof rice or whatever stew base. And so to get that element, we have nori sheet. Again, this is optional. If you don't want to add it, don't add it. It still will taste delicious. Okay? So I ran out of my glass stuff today, so I'll be reusing this plastic bag. All right, so I'm just going to add all this in here. So we have I took 3 bell peppers, and I just went ahead and sliced those up. And I have our tomatoes, and these were tiny little tomatoes, so I just used all of them in the little box that they came in. I had a thing of ginger. All right, we're gonna put this blender to the max. I don't know how it's gonna work. We're gonna see. Huh? Yeah, 10-year warranty. I do. Okay.
So you didn't use it, is that a whole piece of ginger you didn't take the skin off?
Nope, I don't. I buy my ginger organic one. I wash it, but first of all, there's still medicinal properties in the skin, and 2, you don't have to when it's organic. So I always leave it on. Just make sure it's clean. And then when you buy the organics, they're normally already pretty clean. Yeah, they're already pretty clean. Huh? No, it's just the pot burning off. All right, and then now I'm going to take this onion because I didn't want to have those fumes out. I'm just going to quarter it and put that in there. Now, if you don't have a high-speed blender, oh, I didn't bring the tamper. You don't have a high-speed blender, you have to add water, and then you have to cook that water out, which will take longer.
Invest in your Vitamix.
Yeah.
Invest in it.
It's a good investment. Crap, I don't have my tamper.
Now tell us about the
ginger, why you keep the skin on the ginger?
So what now?
Why you keep your skin on the ginger?
Because it's organic. It's organic. And it has vitamins in it.
And nutrients.
And you,
The only other thing I wanted to go ahead and add in here, the Maggie cubes, because you know that's just what we do in NG, okay? You gotta have Maggie. But you can use whatever bouillon cube you like. These are the vegetable ones. These are not the ones with the dead chicken parts in there, just so we're clear. All right. So while that's blending, I'm going to put just a couple of tablespoons of palm oil. It's only because it's traditional. You can totally omit the oil, as you all have seen me do. And you should be able to smell it. I just inhaled it by accident. And what we're going to do traditionally is we will cook the tomato paste in it. So I'm going to move it because it's starting to smoke. And we don't want that trans fat. Ooh. So what now? Yeah. I'm going to get on my dress. All right. Okay. All right. So we just take the palm oil. Ooh, it was too hot. That was my bad. I just don't want this on my dress, y'all. Okay. Yeah, my apron is it got messed up when I came here today. It got dropped on the floor, stuff all over it. But okay. So we cook this and then we wait for it to get a darker color, and it changed the flavor of the tomato paste. It makes it like sweeter, if you can say it's sweet. It's not. It takes out like some of the tinniness and the acidity. It doesn't taste as acidic. So this is pretty standard. All right. So this is like the basis of it. All right, and all we're going to do now is add our pepper mix. All right. So y'all see that's very simple to make this. Huh? Oh. Is it on me?
No, I heard somebody
Oh.
talking. I said it's probably calm.
Oh, the palm oil for sure, yeah. It can be a little peppery or, you know. Oh, did I add the pepper? It had to have already been in the bag, yeah, because I know I put it in there. Okay. Normally I put like 4 or 5 of them in there. That's why I don't even smell it. So, all right. So now we're going to add our other seasonings, and we're going to let this reduce. And then I'll go ahead and get y'all served up. Okay? So how much paprika did I say? Hey, I think I'm losing y'all again. One tablespoon? 2 tablespoons. Okay. All right, so I'm adding the smoked paprika and or the liquid smoke because traditionally at home we would make this outside. This would be over an open fire in a very large pot, and sometimes the bottom kind of will get a little burnt, the crust of the rice, and it gives it this smoky flavor. So to imitate that, because I'm not going outside to cook this on open flame, I put in some smoked paprika, and then you could put in just a couple drops. I mean, a little goes a long way of like liquid smoke, just to give it that flavor as if we were on an open flame. Yes. But this is essentially our pasta sauce, and I'm going to grate some nutmeg. Now, if you do not have fresh nutmeg, do not use the powdered version. Just omit it. It's two different flavors, okay? It's like night and day difference. Grocery store in the spice aisle. I think I got this at Walmart. This is McCormick right here. Yep. So if you don't have it, don't replace this with ground nutmeg. It won't work. It doesn't work. Okay, is that all my spices? Is that everything, y'all?
She said put them in your compost.
She said what?
I told put them in the compost.
Now, I prefer to use fresh thyme, but you're going to see a lot of dried thyme in most dishes because it's available all year. That's really the thinking behind it.
And then do you add the Hebrew last?
I can go ahead and add it. All right, is that everything? So we have real authentic flavors here with the exception of most ingredients, but as authentic as possible. The only thing that's really authentic is like the Eru, but like I said, we have a different pepper, a different bell pepper, everything, this is the American equivalent, basically. So to me, that's looking very good. All right, so that's our pasta sauce. This is our marinara sauce, so we're gonna let this cook. It's gonna reduce by about a third. And I've already made the pasta, so we don't have to watch water boil with this horrible stove that takes an hour for it to come up to temperature. All right, so I'm gonna let that stew, and then I'm gonna get y'all served, okay? What time is it? Y'all were so patient today, and I appreciate you. All right. So the dessert is technically ready. What's that alarm for? For the tofu? Oh, so we might be able to go. Let me see. That went by a lot quicker. Okay, set it for like 5 or 7 more minutes. It's a little on the steam side versus the crispy side. All right, so in preparation for today, I went ahead and made the trifles in these cute little mason jars. Okay, so we pass this out, and then for the ones who don't get one of these, you'll have the fresh one, okay? I'm out of that. I don't see anything but beautiful in here, so. I forgot the bay leaves in here. I'm adding that. Okay.
You're not old until you die.
That's right.
And God made everything good.
That's right. Huh? I know. There's only 12 of those. So they're going to go ahead and serve. Hey, if y'all can hear me, they're going to go ahead and serve the salad as well. Try to hold off on eating the salad so you can have it with the protein stuff on top. Okay, so you can try it together. And then we'll come right back around once this is finished, and we'll end with that. All right, so our sauce has reduced, so now I'm going to add in the cooked brown rice pasta, and then we'll serve that. Well, I'm going to test to make sure I don't need to add any other seasonings to it. And then, all right. So what now? Okay. They're dried blueberries and dried cherries. When I first started making the salad, I used to do it with dried cranberries, but they kept putting, I couldn't find them without sugar added. So I switched to blueberries.
It's really nice. Yeah.
To the vinegary. Yep. Thank you for noticing that. That was exactly why it's put there. All right. Okay, so feedback, Mike? Yeah? No? Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Anybody here do it for the very first time? We got two newbies. You gotta take care of the maitre d'. This is the husband. All right. I call him the chairman. Y'all call him Mr. Carter. Y'all mouths is closed. It must be good. I don't hear no talking. No loud talking. Nobody get quiet. That's a good sign. I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt. I think it's fine. I would do a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more paprika. Yeah, are y'all chewing at least 15 times before you swallow? It don't seem like it. Make it as liquid as possible before you swallow. A minimum of 15 times. You really should be doing it 32 times, but 15 times is the minimum. Okay? Not only does that help. Now, who recalls why? We're still in class then. Who recalls why we should chew at least 15 times before you swallow? What are the reasons? Better digestion. And what's the main reason? Better absorption of the nutrients. Because now your body is not having, your body can just focus on absorbing instead of saying, she just gobbling this down. Now I got to sit here and break it down some more and all this stuff, which makes you more tired. It's going to take more energy to actually digest your food because you're scoffing stuff down. That's got to say, she didn't finish the process, or he didn't finish the process, let me finish that, which takes more energy, which is why you can feel tired after you eat sometimes, right? And then by the time it gets to your small intestine where all the absorption of minerals and stuff happens, it's already in a smaller state where it can do that, okay? So, and then that'll help a lot. And then if you're a person that gets a lot of gas, and you think that's normal when it's not, it will significantly reduce your gas because you have chewed it enough, right? So 15 times is the absolute bare minimum before you swallow. You should start saying if about chew 5 you're ready to swallow, you've been doing this really bad habit for a very long time. Okay? So chew, chew, chew.
I see an animation out of that.
Huh?
I see an animation out of that.
Chew, chew, chew.
And the stomach telling the mouth, did she tell you to chew every time?
Yeah.
Take this, what you said, early energy, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And instead of tofu, use them chopped up walnuts.
You can add the same marinade to the walnuts when they're cooked.
Right.
If you cook them on the stove with that marinade because of the
way you did the taco stuff.
Yeah, I'll put that as a marinade. Yeah, you can do that. But like the tofu filling, like I said, you can put this in a wrap. I like it as in a wrap. You can put it on top of like a soup. So it's not just for a salad topper, but it's very, very versatile. Yeah.
You
But you can do the same flavor profile with the cooked nuts, like if you're gonna cook it. Oyster mushrooms would be really good. It's hard to mess that up. It's hard to mess that up. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go with that. Okay, this is it. It's done. Okay, for those who are interested, we have magnesium oil. The small ones are 10, the medium ones are 15, the big ones are 20. And as a reminder, if it stings, please keep using it because that means your magnesium is quite low. Okay, after a day or two, so if you continue to use, it'll stop because your stores will come up. So what now? Like the precaution. So if you spray it on yourself and it stings or itches or burns, that's your body saying your magnesium is extremely low. Okay, and that means you need to keep using it. And so after like 2 days of continued use, it'll go away because your stores would have gone back up to a higher level.
When you say continue using more frequent?
Yes. Well, no, don't stop taking it because it burns or itches. You need to keep using it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
According to the direction.
Yes, and then you can take it anytime. You can't overdose because this is a transdermal absorption. If you take it in the morning, it helps to reset like your circadian rhythms, and it keeps you calm and gets you off to a nice day. If you take it at night before bed, it helps you have a more restful, peaceful sleep. You can spray it on yourself after a post-workout. It helps with further relaxation of the muscles. It helps with muscle recovery. Yeah, so it's good. Then I've got sea moss as well. So I think I have 2 of the bigger jars. They're all pineapple, lime, ginger. What? Sea moss? I got you. All right. All right. Yep. All right, so here comes the pasta, y'all. Yeah.
Maybe a little salt.
Yes. Uh-huh. I use it daily personally. Yeah.
Which one? 10? Before I walk all the way over there, anybody else want one?
Might as well get this.
Which one you want?
That's the 15 one.
Yeah, this seems like the better one. You get a larger when I get my.
Do you refill?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? Which one you want? Anybody else?
Is it because I got another card?
Okay, I'm gonna. All right, Andy, listen, person, that's a part of that rewards program.
Thank you.
I'm gonna send you.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because
Here you go. Thank you. Yes, absolutely, Mike.
Did you say you have a larger one?
Yeah.
How long does that keep?
This keeps for 3 to 4 weeks, as long as you keep it refrigerated.
Okay. And how
So
much is the big one?
that's 35. This is 20.
Okay. This will be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
At least one heaping tablespoon in the morning.
Okay.
Yep, heaping.
I got some other online and it's not as good as yours.
Thank you, Mike.
this one is mine.
Oh, okay.
There.
Wait, is that yours?
I just have a big one.
Did you already get it?
Oh shit. Oh well.
You took my big one?
No, not necessarily. I would never do that.
I had 2 of them. I had 2.
So we don't have.
Oh, I so okay.
Do you have 2 of them or no?
No, I sold the other one early. She got it before class.
Okay, I gotta get the little one then.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I can order more from you though, right?
Yeah. This is like, I spent a lot of time doing this. Okay. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate you. You want a receipt?
That's all right.
All right.
What's about 40% absorption rate for Thanksgiving?
40 to 60% depending on your current health state. Okay. All right. So I'm so glad you came. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Glad I was able to attend, but I wish I would have been here today.
Yeah.
But same place next Sunday
Next Sunday, yep. It was our last class.
here,
Yeah.
but it won't be our last class. We're gonna be
Yeah. Now the pasta normally the sauce will cook a lot longer and it gets sweeter, but time was of the essence. So time's of the well. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. It's spicy? Oh, I said it was only one lonely little pepper in there. Just one.
I can feel it cleaning out though.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's working all
But we have some people in here, like a cameraman, he cannot handle that. I'm not trying to kill him. I need him. Want him to be happy. That's when it's cleansing. Yeah. I grew up eating it, so it would take a lot for me to get there, but it just drains anything you might have, just gonna let it all out. Okay, any questions or comments? Excuse me? One. That's hot. It was hot. I had you and Rashidi in mind. You got a question? You can do either or. It just depends on what your focus is or what you're about to do. I take it at night, and sometimes I take it, if I do a morning walk, then I'll do it in the morning so the sun can hit it because it makes it more absorbable. That's the other thing. It's 75% absorbable if you do it in the sunlight. Yeah, you spray it, and it helps to reset everything, but you help have a deeper sleep, more peaceful sleep if you do it at night too. But you can do it any time during the day. Those are the 2 times where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. It's not prescriptive like that. You can't overdose. Yeah, so it's not. I do it once a day. If you start taking it and you're burning, you might want to do a few times a day so that your levels can come up. Okay. Very low. Very low. Yep. Burning or itching. Yep. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You can spray it anywhere. Yep. It's all gentle, so I use distilled water. There's no place you can't spray. You can spray it on your scalp. If you have like dandruff or dermatitis or something like that, you can spray it anywhere on your body. I personally spray it from here to here, just before I go to bed at night because I sleep naked. So I just spray my torso, and that's it. Yeah, but it's just distilled water. It's the premium magnesium flakes, the bougiest kind from those, that's what I'm told. I feel like I just care about myself when I put my body, okay? If that's considered bougie, then fine. Yeah, I'll own that. Huh? Oh. It's clearing? Oh, okay. Well, you need some more heat in your life. Let it come all out. It has aloe vera juice, rose water, organic rose water that I do I make it because it's so expensive with that little tiny bottle. You can just make it so easily. And then some MSM, which is the sulfur, which makes it more absorbable in the skin. And most people's sulfur levels are low, and they go hand in hand with the magnesium. So that's what's in it, mixed up. It's essentially a sulfur. Sulfur helps make magnesium more absorbable in your body, so it has a higher absorption rate. I make my own rose water. Not the ones you buy in the store. Those are hybridized. Those aren't real roses. The real roses kind of look like carnations, and those are the ones that you can get organic. The ones in the grocery store have been sprayed very heavily, and that's not something. It's called a hydrosol. So I make a hydrosol. So you just take a pot of distilled water, and I take a bowl and turn it upside down so it steams, and put the roses on top. And the water that drips down into the bowl is the hydrosol, which is the rose water. So it takes like 2 hours. You just set on low temperature, and then you have organic rose water as much as you want. No, those, like I said, those beautiful ones you see in a grocery store, those are completely hybridized. Those are not real roses. You get a rose bush, it doesn't look like what you see in, and then the rose hips that come on a real rose bush, I put those oils in my facial oil formulation, all organic, because you can't get that in the grocery store. That's not, that's not what a rose is. But, okay. All right, are there any other questions or comments before we conclude? Yeah, I get it. No sulfur, no added sugar, no added oil.
It's hard to find the ones that usually have that sulfur.
They do, and it's usually the higher end grocers tend to have those, or that's why I have a dehydrator and do it myself, really. That's the best way. So just as a recap, y'all, unfortunately or fortunately, however you look at it, next week's our last class. I know.
Have you signed up for the potluck? If you have not signed up for the potluck, this is the sheet. Please let us know. The recipe needs to be a recipe off of the Naija Goddess website. And make enough for everybody. Don't be stingy. Make enough for 25 people with the spirit of greed.
So I'll be getting off a plane coming in next week. All products that I normally have that I don't normally bring to this class, I'm really not a salesperson in this particular class, but like the vaginal steam herbs, the face oils, the shea butter stuff that I get from Nigeria, all that will be here next week. The cookbooks will be ready. We'll be here next week. So all that will be here next week. Steam herbs. Yeah, vaginal steam herbs for vaginal steaming. I'm a big proponent of that. If y'all can check out my video on that that talks about that. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, it's good for you. So we'll be here for our last hurrah. But before we leave today, can we get a group picture? That would be really great. Can we get a group picture?